Okay, how's everybody's hair looking?
So good.
Are we looking?
Wait, we're doing that joke again?
So, welcome back to the Latchkey Friends podcast. As usual, we have another bald man on the show. Ryan Terry is with us, so if you're listening audio only.
Talk about that. We have a lot of bald men on the show.
Whenever I see my mom, she says to me, like within the first 2 minutes, she says, "Your hair." You know, I saw somebody from your high school the other day, and he's bald too. What is it with you and your friends? Why are they all bald? I don't know, Mom. It's probably your fault.
Oh, moms. We're
So
the
we're
worst.
on the
It's the mom's dad, right?
Yeah, Latchkey Friends podcast. We've got Ryan Terry with us. Ryan, hi, how are you?
I'm very good.
Okay.
In full disclosure, I'm very hot. I was going on a run, got a beep on my phone saying I had to do this in 15 minutes, turned around and ran back and made it.
You're all sweaty and ready to go.
I'm sweaty and ready to go. How else can you do a podcast?
We love the commitment. We love the speed. And we also love the honesty, because when we got prepped for this episode, the first thing Ryan said to us, "Gotta be honest, guys, never heard the podcast." So
I've never listened to it.
Never listened to it. Not even sure what it is. So I'm not even going to ask you, Ryan, if you did listen to an episode or two since we last spoke. Don't answer the question. You're
His
silent.
face is answering it for him.
Well, I didn't, but I had heard like 5 of the stories that you guys already covered, so I feel like I had, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Some existential way you've already watched it.
So,
Yeah.
The good news here is that all of our
I'm a good bad friend.
all of our viewers and our listeners know that the stories you're going to get from Ryan are honest, because he tells it like it is. He doesn't listen to the podcast. He didn't remember he was on the podcast. So all the things you're going to hear now are going to be totally truthful. We've known Ryan for a long time. We're really good friends. We've traveled a lot. One of the things that we miss about being home in the bunker is seeing Ryan, because Ryan, no matter where you are, you got probably like a 40 or 50 foot radius on hearing Ryan's laugh. And I like to liken it unto my kid's hero, SpongeBob SquarePants. And so my teacher in 6th grade claimed I sounded like a hyena, and I've never been able to get rid of that. So
it's
into Africa, Ryan. Have you run into a hyena, and do you feel like
I've never heard it in real life? Yeah, I have not yet done the laugh off with hyenas yet.
So we're hoping that the episode is funny enough that not only will we laugh and our listeners, but you, Ryan, will give us the full Ryan.
Ryan's gonna laugh. He's gonna do it. One sound you can hear too, besides Ryan's laughter, occasionally you hear a coming from his chest. Come to find out, Ryan has a extreme physical reaction to mayonnaise. So some of us think it's funny to put jars of mayonnaise on Ryan's desk to make him vomit.
Okay, so now's my part to be honest here, is that there's a little showbiz that goes into this very highly produced podcast. And sometimes we know the ending of the story and we pretend like we've never heard the story before.
Telling all our secrets.
But this is an episode where I have heard Ryan start this story like a couple of times, and I have always gone the complete opposite direction, because I am a little bit of a queasy guy. And I have garbage can here because the show must go on. I'm really worried about this episode. So for all of our listeners who get a little queasy, stay with us. It's going to get really real, right?
Yeah, Ryan's going to share why he doesn't like mayonnaise.
I've never heard the story, so like we're all going to learn this thing as we go. Ryan, kick us off. Where are we going to start?
Okay, I've actually thought long and hard of where to begin this. And I think I've got a good place. So up front, I've never actually thrown up when I've told this story or anything. It's a gag that comes on. So it's a physical reaction in the form of a gag. And before this event happened, I've never gagged in my life. Like that's how momentous this event was. It all of a sudden gave me like a gag,
Life-altering.
Okay.
which is pretty crazy. And so
Then the old Ryan is dead. The
Yeah.
no gagging Ryan is gone, and now
the old Ryan with hair is dead, and
This
the
is
bald
what
Ryan
happened.
with gag is
You
alive.
have the
and well.
answers for your mom.
Yes. So I spent a long time in Guatemala. And I want to quickly, because I finally realized this when I was thinking about this podcast, there was 2 events that led up to this, which I think played a big part in actually getting the physical reaction. One of them was I was walking through the jungle, and out of nowhere, I started hearing this crunch sound. And this was a crunch sound like I've never heard before. And the only best way I can describe it is like, it was like a thick, bassy crunch. And then shortly after that, the foulest smell I've ever smelled hit me. And I was just like, what is going on? And what is that sound? And so we walked. This is so gross. I'm sorry. This is so gross.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Started out with
We walked around this bush, and there was the biggest dog I've ever seen eating a baby puppy. It had the puppy's head in its mouth and was crunching on his skull.
Oh my god.
Bless you.
That was the first time I ever like gagged in my life. That smell and like the sound was almost even worse. It was the sound of a puppy's skull in this dog's mouth. Got it.
Let me pause here for a second. Ryan, we've been trying to get sponsors for the podcast, and each episode we're just crossing potential sponsors off the list.
Okay.
So, okay, cool.
We're
So
good. Yeah, keep going.
keep going. See what else we can ruin.
Okay,
ruin
so the
more different.
sound, yeah, that'd make me gag. That's great.
So the next thing, probably 2 months later, I'm walking, and we were going to visit this guy we knew, and we walk in, and his 8-year-old son had the biggest pig I've ever seen on a table. I mean, this massive pig, and he was like shedding the hair off of it. And I was like, okay, like what's going on here? And then out of nowhere, the kid takes like a 6-inch knife and jabs it into the jugular of this pig. And this pig gives like the most humanistic screaming sound as blood is spewing from his artery. I mean, it looked like a fire hydrant. And so I kind of grabbed this little fence and I just go pale. I'm like, I'm going to faint. Like, this is the grossest / nastiest thing I've ever heard. And then I look down this little alleyway and I see probably 40 Guatemalan dogs, which are the most repulsive dogs you've ever seen, come sliding around the corner and start licking up all the blood that had happened. And I actually just, boom, I went straight and fainted. And I wake up like 5 minutes later thinking it was all a dream, but it wasn't a dream. So that was like the second thing.
This led up to the mayonnaise thing?
Yeah, this led up. So
okay.
these two things had happened.
Hold on 1 second. We were looking to get some sponsors.
I can drop the first 2 stories.
No, that's fine. Okay, so those 2, that's understandable. That's pretty traumatic.
So this is all leading up. That makes sense, Spencer.
Okay.
I'm not here for your sponsors. I'm here to tell a story, okay?
Oh, he's here to share the truth. Okay, this isn't about making money. Like, this podcast has never been about making money.
So fast forward probably 6 months, I'm still in Guatemala, and there was this very famous place in Guatemala where they had flour tortillas. The only spot in Guatemala where you got flour tortillas. Everywhere else were these really thick corn tortillas that weren't as good. And so I was going to this place. I was super excited about it. And so we find the spot, and we're in this kind of big line to get this huge flour tortilla burrito. Like, this was like the talk of the town. Like, you couldn't get a better burrito in Guatemala. This is going to be great. This is awesome. So we wait in this line probably 45 minutes. I'm probably 6th in line at this point. And it's probably like, I'm probably exaggerating a little bit. It's probably 110 degrees, just super hot. You can see heat waves coming off of everywhere. And I look down the line at the people making the burrito, and there was a very large woman who was, doing the tortilla toss and making the tortillas. And everybody in Guatemala carries their babies on their back, you know, to carry them around, to go with them to work and stuff like that. And so at one point, the baby's crying, and she kind of swings the baby around and changes the baby's diaper. You know, and Guatemala is not the most sanitary place. I mean, there's no gloves involved. It's just kind of, there's not even like real
Get
diaper.
a little extra spices in there.
Just, you know, cloth and stuff like that. So she, you know, changes the baby's diaper, puts the baby back on her back, you know, and goes straight back to making tortillas. No washing of the hands or anything like that. And then like I'm next in line, and then I see this lady. Everything also in Guatemala is in plastic bags. You buy anything, you buy pop, and they pour it in a plastic bag and give you a plastic bag.
To drink it?
Yeah, you literally carry it with a straw in a plastic bag. And so mayonnaise, they also sell in a plastic bag. And so this lady, you know, touching all of the food and stuff like that, she reaches down, pulls up something, and it was a bag of mayonnaise. And she bites off the corner, and she proceeded to pour a glob of mayonnaise in her palm, and then she started to lick it out of her palm.
Okay, hold on. Well, let's
Got a bag of
sneeze it
mayonnaise.
out, bro. Sneeze it out, bro.
So she's like, and it's not just like one or two licks. Like she goes.
We gotta roll back a little bit because So
Okay, let's just set this up again.
okay,
She's got a bag of mayonnaise. She's pulled out
bag of mayonnaise.
somewhere.
Okay.
She bites off the corner, puts it in her palm, and just licks it off.
And then squeezes a bunch in her palm. And again, like it's all hot and humid. She just changed the poopy diaper, and then proceeds to lick the mayonnaise straight into her head, into her mouth. And I just lost it. Like I started gagging like crazy, and I was just like, I gotta get the hell out of here. Like I'm gonna die. And so supposedly there's these famous burritos in Guatemala that have a flour tortilla that I have never eaten. And that experience ruined mayonnaise for me the rest of my life. I mean, I think about it and I just get so sick. Like I can't like
so
watch
you come
people.
back to the States and you don't have mayonnaise at all. Like you won't have it on your sandwiches.
No,
You don't
like
eat salads that
the
have
look of
mayonnaise
it
in
just
it.
I find like repulsive. Like it, you know, and then I've learned a little bit like what it's made out of, and it's just so gross. And I'm sorry if people like mayonnaise, but I'm just like I can't even go near it or smell it or anything. So anyway, we got through it. There we go. That is
Okay, couple of concerns I have. Number one, do you remember the name of the burrito shop? The places there have names?
no. I mean, it was like a street vendor.
Well, we wanted her to sponsor the podcast. Now she's not going to. So that's rude. And then number two, the only other beat I've got working is that we're working with the Hellman's mayonnaise company. We're this close to getting the sponsor.
No, it's all ruined.
Well, I don't want to do a podcast where they're sponsoring it, so I don't think I could even.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Ryan's removing himself from this video.
If I ruined your Hellman's sponsorship, I'm sorry, but I just.
So
I'm still trying to get used to the whole bag thing. Like you pour drinks in a bag and just drink it out of the bag.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a very poor country, and so everybody they don't the stores don't want to give you the glass because they can return the glass for money.
Oh, okay.
They pour your soda in the bag, and you just get a bag, and you literally can't put it down. Like you have that bag till you finish. And then mayonnaise, it's just cheaper to pour that stuff in plastic instead of a glass jar and stuff. So
I think I would have the same reaction to mayonnaise that you do now.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have been able to
when
eat
you
it.
got back to the States, did you think everything was weird, and why wasn't it in a bag?
Well, no, I mean, because I was in Guatemala for 2 years when I was 19, so everything in Guatemala was weird. Like the state stuff was normal. And I mean, what's crazy though is it really does make you appreciate like the tiniest things that you would never imagine. Like I came home and I immediately took my shoes off and just walked on grass. And like, that was the greatest feeling in the world, and carpet. Like carpet was like the awesomest thing ever and stuff. But
what happened to your toes in Guatemala? Your toenails?
I'm not gonna have any friends after this. So that's a long story, Liz.
Okay. You just mentioned your shoes, taking them off, and I just remember that.
So basically, I got bad ingrown toenails because we would walk everywhere, and then it would rain a ton down there, so your feet just get destroyed.
Oh, man.
And so, yeah, I had to have my toenails taken off a couple of times, and they would always grow back super weird. Yeah. My really close friends call me Shrek toes. And you've seen them. We went on a work trip. We went and got a
pedicure.
Sum this up for our listeners. We were on a work trip in Florida, and we were finished filming for the day, and we thought it'd be fun to go get pedicures. And Ryan's like, no, I don't want anyone touching my toes. I've got these weird toenails. And I'm like, no, they deal with this stuff all the time.
It's their job.
We're getting pedicures. And the woman
and it wasn't that I didn't want to go. It was more like I didn't want somebody to have to like touch my feet. Like that.
And I was like, they touch feet all. I'm sure there's gross feet. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. We're sitting there, and she pulls out the drill, and it's like Ryan's toes.
It was literally the Dumb and Dumber drill where she had to like, get the power saw to saw down my toenails. So
but they look so nice afterward.
And you were glad you went, Ryan. You were glad you went.
It was great. Like I would go again. I more felt bad for the person like having to like touch my toes. Like
I guarantee your toes are not the worst that some people have seen. There's some nasty feet out there. I was actually worried your mayonnaise story was gonna have to do something with your feet. I was a little freaked out about that. Like when you said like it's gonna be really like I went to like extreme.
So what does a run-in with mayonnaise look like? Liz mentioned like sometimes people are gonna tease you with it, but if you encounter some mayonnaise, like you get a sandwich, you didn't realize there was mayonnaise on there.
I just won't eat it. I can't do like the scrape off thing. Like I don't want to touch it. I can't even do like the bag, then scrape it off in the bag. It just ruins anything. And like if somebody's eating it, like I'm fine if like I go to lunch with somebody and they're eating, I can do that. But I also just have to force myself not to really think about it. Like if somebody's eating it near me, it's fine.
You have to maybe move a couple seats down.
Yeah. So I don't want to ruin it for everybody. I know there's a lot of people that enjoy mayonnaise, but
one of the things when I was living in the Netherlands is like an actual food group is French fries. Like I had found my people. Hey, what's for lunch? It's French fries and orange Fanta. It's my favorite. It's my best meal. And then I realized something different is that instead of the most popular condiment in which to dip your French fry is mayonnaise.
Yeah.
They just give you a little jar of mayonnaise and so no Dutch French fries for you, Ryan Terry.
Well, and I can't do fry sauce because it's got mayo in it.
It has mayonnaise in it. I didn't even
like
think about that.
Staple. Yeah.
Fry sauce, Utah staple. I don't like fry sauce either. I actually don't love mayonnaise. I'll have a little bit on my like sandwiches is fine, but I don't like a lot of salads that are like stirred in with like mayonnaise. Ugh.
When it's funny,
really salad,
like I'm a fan of what is her name? Blake Lively, like an actress. Like I remember I saw a really cool interview with her and they're like, oh, what's your favorite condiment? And she said mayonnaise. And I was like, I can't look at her without thinking about mayonnaise now. I don't like you as much. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it kind of ruined you for me. So
the best
hate for mayonnaise is so deep that it ruined your love for Blake Lively.
The next person we had scheduled for the podcast was Blake Lively.
We already talked about her mayonnaise addiction.
After that, we had the Smashing Pumpkins, whose best song is Mayonnaise. This is
it's a good song. I don't know if it's their best song, but
second.
Well, I have a question for you. Do you regret that you never had the best burrito in Guatemala?
I do. Like I was so looking forward to like, and again, like you don't know, kind of like what I was saying with like carpet and grass, like flour tortillas like was going to be amazing. Like not like the corn tortillas weren't, but you had like 7 of them a day. They were kind of dry and thick and like so it was literally like people said like if you visit Guatemala you have to go here. They have flour tortillas. These burritos are amazing and I'm sure they are. Like and I'm really bummed I never got. And I was like literally one person and I decided to look around the corner a little bit and I was just I can't do it.
I feel like that's your lesson learned.
Yeah.
Curiosity kills the cat, man.
Yeah.
Don't look. Don't peek
look
around.
too far ahead.
Mm-mm.
You
just see what's in front of you. You just take it.
That's a good life lesson for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, we didn't make you laugh. We didn't get your laugh.
And I can't laugh on target either.
No.
I'm sorry.
It's even better because when Ryan laughs, he means it.
Yeah. He's honest. He's honest.
I do want to say one thing before we go. I feel like we're kind of wrapping up.
Yeah.
So this is called Latchkey. What is Latchkey Friends?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
If you would have watched our podcast, not listen to our podcast, but watch our podcast, you would know.
3. Yeah, so Ryan, I had a bad run-in as a preschooler. My mom sent me home. My mom allowed me to walk home from preschool all by myself. There was just one house between our house and the preschool. She sent me home with a key to get in the house because she was going to be gone. She put it on one of those little ball chains and hooked it to my belt loop.
Yeah.
And when I got home, I couldn't figure how to disconnect it from my belt loop. So I found a way to get me into the latch. Got up there, got the key in there, couldn't get the door turned, and so I couldn't get the key back out. I was stuck, Ryan. I was stuck, Ryan.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So
I can just imagine little old Spencer stuck trying to get his hip in the door.
The kid who was stuck in a latch, and you know about my hip problems, Ryan.
Yeah, I wonder
probably started there.
Well, since this is about friends, I just want to say you guys are awesome. Like I seriously miss you guys a lot. Especially we've been on a million work trips and things like that. And I wanted to say publicly to Spencer, I went through something pretty horrific at the start of this year, and Spencer called me about every night, and that meant the world to me. I don't know if you know how much that meant to me, and that's something I've always thought of, and really helped me get through like a super hard situation. So I've always been super appreciative of that, and I wanted to tell you that publicly and let you know how much that meant to me. So
thanks, Ryan. You are a good Latchkey friend, even if you don't ever listen to our podcast.
You don't have to listen to it. You're now officially a Latchkey friend.
You're a Latchkey friend forever, and we're loyal till death. You know that. We both love Ryan said.
For sure.
Ryan, thank you for being on the podcast. I'm going to tell this to you, Ryan, so that you know if you want to find us on social, at Latchkey Friends on all your favorite platforms. You hate Facebook, you told us that, but we're on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, latchkeyfriends.com, and Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So you can find us anywhere. We've still got
you go for an afternoon run. You just throw on Latchkey Friends.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how much of this gets edited.
None
of it.
We don't know how to do that, Ryan. We don't know how to edit stuff.
We'll send it to you to edit.
I'd like to apologize to all the mayonnaise sponsors and puppy sponsors.
We'll get there. Blake Lively, we still care about you. We loved Gossip Girl. We loved it.
Loved it so much.
Thanks for being on the show, Ryan, and thanks to all of our Latchkey friends out there. We'll be with you again really soon. Have a good day, everyone. Catch you guys later.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys. See ya.